catastrophic few days for Harry and Meghan.
Turns out it's not actually jam.
Talk about Meghan Markle, because she's in the Sun today, pausing her jam firm in case it gets annoying. Apparently, some kind of reality has set in. Angela, very good morning to you. She thinks she might be annoying.
Jam one after the other. If they've got to wait, it's going to be terrible. So she wipes them out. This is what she was talking about to Tina Knowles, the mother of Beyonce. It was her last podcast. Last week was her last podcast.
Did you ever see a dream pop like a balloon? Meghan Markle thought one sweet jar of jam would start a whole new life for her. She pictured picnic tables, soft music, and rows of cute jars shining in the sun. Each lid carried the name, As Ever, a promise that life could taste gentle and bright again. Friends clapped. Photos looked perfect. But sometimes, the very first bite can flip a story upside down. The café smelled like warm bread and fresh coffee. Pretty plates filled every table. Meghan's raspberry jam sat proudly on fluffy scones, ready for a soft launch. Servers whispered that Chef Gordon Ramsay had just walked in. He was famous for telling the truth about food. Loudly. Meghan thought, if he loves it, everyone will. She straightened her dress and waited. Ramsay reached for a scone. He spread the bright red jam in one quick swirl, then took a bite. 2 chews later he stopped. A hush rolled across the room. He spit the bite into a napkin and spoke in a voice as sharp as a knife. This isn't food. It's a crime against fruit. Forks froze midair. The room felt like winter in one blink. Meghan's hopes fell as fast as a dropped plate, and dozens of phones were already filming. 10 minutes later, the first video hit the internet. Hashtags exploded like popcorn in hot oil. Jamgate at Ramsay vs. Meghan zoomed up the trend chart. One meme showed a jar wearing a tiny hazard sign. Another asked, if this jam is organic, am I a unicorn? Laughter rolled across the globe before the cafe even cleared the plates. While the jokes flew, Meghan's team raced into action. They huddled around laptops in a bright office downtown. Someone shouted, blame a bad batch! Another typed, say the fridge was too warm. A third sighed, call Ramsay a bully? Every idea felt thin like paper in rain. The video was everywhere. They could not pull it back.
Disaster, actually, but she keeps calling herself a businesswoman, and she hasn't, because it's all fallen down. And she's there on her own trying to do it, she pretends, but she's got loads of people. One of the cooking days, she had 80 people to help her in her house.
In kitchens across the city, other chefs raised their eyebrows. One called the texture melted lipstick. A pastry expert said the smell reminded her of cough syrup. Food magazines printed side-by-side photos. One of Meghan's jar, one of a child's red marker. Even cooks who liked Meghan before could not find kind words now. What began as Ramsay's single shout grew into a choir of loud truths. Shops felt the heat next. A small grocery that had ordered 50 cases sent refund emails before lunch. The Buy Now button vanished from Meghan's own website. A big box chain, once eager to set up a tasting booth, stopped calling altogether. In one day the jam went from rising star to cold stone. And yet the bigger crack was in trust. People asked if the jam had ever been about flavor or only fancy photos. Was, as ever, built on care or on glitter and old fame? Trust is like clear glass, easy to see through once it chips. Ramsay's bite broke the surface, and now shoppers saw every scratch underneath. Inside Meghan's office, voices grew soft. An advisor whispered, we could relaunch with a new recipe. A stylist said, maybe change the jar color. A brand coach suggested a cooking show, something sweet and cozy. But outside those walls, the clip of Ramsay's scowl kept looping. Every replay dug the hole deeper. Still, everybody loves a comeback story. Maybe Meghan goes back to square one, learns jam making from real farmers, and returns with a spread so tasty even Ramsay smiles. Or maybe she drops jam forever and finds a new path. Either way, the next step must be real, not just pretty, because after Jamgate, people will twist every lid before they trust the label.
The day after the blast, morning news shows could not resist. One host held up a jar and asked, would you risk it on your toast? The audience laughed. Late-night comics stacked bread on their desks and pretended it might melt. Even weather reports snuck in quick jokes like, "Skies will be clear," unlike Meghan's jam reviews. The joke was easy to tell. The fix was not. Meanwhile, Ramsay doubled down. A reporter asked if he felt bad. He shook his head. "I'd rather eat from a bin," he said. Those words rolled across headlines like a dropped bowling ball. People respected his honesty, even if it stung. Friends of Meghan tried to help. One posted a sunny picture of herself eating the jam and smiling. Commenters wrote, "Blink twice if you're in danger," and "We know you were paid." The picture was deleted within an hour. Paid influencers who had planned pretty posts quickly changed their schedules. No one wanted to be the face of a joke. To make things worse, a tiny security clip leaked from the cafe kitchen. It showed servers scraping half-eaten jam off plates and dumping it in a bin. The staff giggled in the background. The clip lasted only 12 seconds, yet 5 million people watched it in 2 days. Each view locked the story tighter.
How did we arrive here? Meghan once stepped away from royal duty to shape her own public picture. She made a podcast to share her voice, a Netflix deal to show her side, and now a jam to start a wellness brand. All were meant to give her control, but one loud chef wiped that control away in one mouthful. That is the power of honest taste. Still, lessons hide in every flop. First, pretty labels can't fool taste buds. Second, real craft takes time and patience, not just a clever name. Third, the internet has long memory and quick fingers. But maybe the biggest lesson is this: a stumble can become a stepping stone if you own it. Will Meghan say, "I messed up, now watch me fix it"? Or will she fade out and let the jar gather dust? Only time will tell. Imagine the scene 1 month later. Meghan stands in a small farm kitchen, stirring berries in a copper pot. The heat is high. The smell is deep and sweet. She listens to an old jam master explain why slow cooking matters. The master says, "Taste as you go. Let the fruit speak." Meghan nods, jotting notes. A camera crew films from the side, but this time the story feels less glossy, more real. Viewers might forgive if they see sweat and honest work. Or picture the other path. Meghan drops food totally and dives into a new project, maybe children's books or charity tours. She presses forward with lessons learned. Flash without depth leads to falls. Whichever path she picks, the world will watch the first step closely. It should end a dream? Can hard work fix a broken image? Tell me in the comments. I read every note. And if you enjoyed this wild ride from royalty to ruined jam, hit like. Tap subscribe so you won't miss the next twist, because stories are always cooking and the next taste might shock us all. But we're not done yet. Let's zoom out. Food fails have flipped other stars too. Remember when a singer launched a salad dressing that tasted like wet rubber bands? Or that actor's hot sauce so thin it leaked through bottles? Each flop became a meme, yet some turned it around. The singer learned from farmers and now sells a fresh, bright dressing that wins awards. The actor hired a pepper expert and released a thicker, smoky sauce loved by many. They show a path Meghan could follow: own the mistake, fix the flaws, and serve something worth the price. Meanwhile, the ripple from Jamgate keeps moving. Small jam shops report more clicks as curious shoppers hunt for the good stuff. Local berry farms post videos showing how real jam thickens without fake gel. Kids in kitchens try their first batch and share pictures online. So even a flop can spark fresh interest in real food craft. That might be a silver lining. One jar went bad, but many tiny pots of homemade joy began.
He is the most insecure person I have seen in the public eye in a long time. That is why everything had to be perfectly curated. Who the hell picks berries in a white cashmere blouse and white pants? Literally no one on earth does that. And like this garden, which is like the most over the top. Like we're all supposed to go, Maureen, to make our breakfast in the morning out to our gardens and pick our berries, our raspberries, our strawberries, our blueberries, our snozberries, and cut our mint, and then cut our flowers that are edible. But don't worry, she's a woman of the people. You can grow those just on your windowsill at home in New York, your edible flowers.
And don't forget your local beekeeper.
Yeah.
Your local beekeeper.
Oh, yeah, because she has a bee hive, which she goes, that's how they open the whole series with her bees. And like, don't worry, if you don't have this, just go to your local beekeeper. Clearly, we're living in different.
Well, you know what's going on. Someone wanted a lot of attention, and now they got it.
That was the whole episode.
That was the ep.
Yeah.
Imagine scrolling through your feed and landing on the Duchess who once vowed she'd never overshare again.
Only she's back, swallowing the spotlight like it's a vitamin shot. First, she drops a tearjerker podcast with no actual tears. Days later, she twirls in a hospital gown, flaunting a 9-month bump like it's the crown jewels. Within hours, Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly swoop in, talons out, and the internet ignites. Is this raw vulnerability, or the slickest ad campaign since Pepsi tried to end world peace with soda? Stick around. By the end, you'll never look at authentic celebrity emotion the same way again.
Go for it. 47.
That his heart is even more beautiful.
I love that your eyes are sparkling right now.
Oh my God. Dan, I threw up in my mouth.
Yes. Yes.
Dan, when you do interviews on your show, do you do the Jamie Kern Lima reactions? Yes. Oh my God, there's something wrong with her. What? Wow, who communicates like that? She's the only thing saving Meghan Markle, because between the two, she's even weirder. But Meghan Markle, this is a tell. Okay, this is a tell. It's the same way on Valentine's Day. You see people post like, my rock, my life partner, the person who saved me. Guaranteed that guy is cheating on.
Soft piano, studio lighting, a duchess whispering about full-body chills. Everything screamed heartbreak except her eyes, which stayed desert dry. Viewers waited for a single glimmer of moisture, but all they got was a voice quiver timed like a TikTok transition. The cynics pounced. Reddit ran polls on whether eyelid Botox blocks tears. Twitter coined a new unit of measurement, the Markle moment, exactly 10 seconds of silence engineered for maximum suspense. By the time the episode faded out, the Duchess's raw pain felt less like catharsis and more like a sales funnel that forgot the product. But the sarcasm tsunami was just picking up speed.
Okay, how much time did she have for this when she was on Suits, when she was doing The Tig, when she was trying to land the ginger from the royal family to marry her? Apparently none, by her own admission, but now she wants us to believe, okay, she's a Nigerian and I'll believe it when I see it. I look forward to all the time she spends in Nigeria helping the Nigerian people.
Full disclosure, I do think Harry's a but
he seems to be.
Enter Joe Rogan, the human litmus test for too fake to function. With elk meat bravado, he dissected the Duchess's performance like a UFC commentator calling a phantom punch. He asked why modern podcasts now require tier quotas, then landed the jab. If you're crying while directing your own camera angles, maybe you're not vulnerable. Maybe you're in rehearsal. Listeners howled. Meme makers spliced her pauses into comedic drum rolls, and Instagram reels flooded with side-by-side how to cry on cue tutorials. Rogan didn't need a spreadsheet. One smirk told the crowd they had license to laugh, and they took it. Yet, humor was only half the takedown. The scalpel was still to come. Megyn Kelly skipped the jokes and built a courtroom exhibit. She freeze-framed the audio waveform, circled every suspicious breath, and laid it over a PR timeline so perfect, it gave conspiracy theorists whiplash. The big reveal? Her quavering climax arrived the same week her lifestyle brand launched a limited edition jam jar. Coincidence? About as accidental as a royal wardrobe malfunction. Kelly's verdict hit harder than Rogan's laughter. This wasn't emotion, it was an emotional IPO. Overnight, business podcasts started quoting her monologue as a masterclass in influence marketing. Proof that even heartache can carry a coupon code. And just when viewers thought they'd seen peak cringe, the Duchess pressed upload again.
it's very strange.
But it's also very strange that he was, essentially infiltrated by a very ambitious actress.
Infiltrated?
She was one of the Deal
Is that
or No Deal
technically
ladies.
the way it works? Is he
I
infiltrated
think so.
or was she infiltrated?
Well, it depends on who's getting pegged.
Yeah.
It depends on the methods.
And now
Yeah, look, she was on Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
She didn't like being objectified on Deal. And did you think it was an executive position, ma'am?
Yeah.
You're one of the hot ladies holding up a suitcase.
Cue a throwback dance video filmed in a maternity ward. Medical monitors beeping, Prince Harry's off-screen cheer, and Meghan performing a TikTok baby mama dance. Arms flapped like startled flamingos, hips spun in offbeat halos around a belly bump. The internet promptly declared AliExpress latex. In 12 seconds, the Duchess racked up more secondhand embarrassment than dad dancing at a funeral. Twitter therapists diagnosed chronic spotlight withdrawal, TikTok teens launched the Try Not to Cringe challenge with chiropractor disclaimers. Even Buckingham's corgis reportedly side-eyed the palace TV before waddling out in shame. But cringe alone doesn't sustain virality. The reaction squad made sure of that. The clip detonated across social platforms. Reddit morphed into CSI maternity ward, zooming 400% to inspect belly curvature. TikTok choreographers copied the routine, ending every attempt with a staged ambulance ride. YouTube supercuts mashed the Tearless podcast against the belly bump boogie, titling it, "When Your Marketing Plan Has a Stroke." Press outlets rang every royal commentator within a 50-mile radius, demanding hot takes before breakfast. In an unprecedented twist, royal traditionalists and Hollywood snark accounts found common ground. Both labeled the Duchess Queen of Premium Artisanal Cringe. That fragile ceasefire lasted exactly one news cycle, long enough to spike her mention count and tank her credibility stock. But if you think humiliation spelled retreat, you haven't met Meghan's favorite KPI, perpetual trending, which brings us to the bigger pattern hiding in plain sight.
Like her.
Let me count the ways. There's nothing I like about her. She is a malignant narcissist who cannot get enough of herself while she simultaneously plays the victim. My castle's too small.
Yeah.
The queen is mean to me. They won't let me call myself Her Royal Highness anymore, but I'm going to put it all over my stationery and on the gifts that I give to my friends, while she never stops whining. And at the same time, I'm getting all worked up. I'm a founder. I'm over it. She's not important. She married for money. It's very clear. She bagged the elephant. She was thrilled she became a, quote,
Scroll back through the past 2 years and the breadcrumbs glitter. The Netflix docuseries drop hours before Spotify's $20 million crash and burn. The privacy plea followed by a magazine cover shoot. The tearless breakdown syncing perfectly with the Jam Jar pre-order page. The baby mama dance. It served as trailer hype for a new holistic candle, promising to balance chakras and erase negativity. Each vulnerable reveal is a marketing teaser wrapped in chiffon sorrow. Analysts now whisper about the Markle pivot curve, where every dip in public favor is followed by a bigger, shinier product push. Critics call it emotional arbitrage. Buy low in sympathy, sell high in merchandise. Fans defend it as modern royalty rewriting the rulebook. Either way, the equation holds. Outrage plus empathy equals engagement, and engagement keeps the lights on in Montecito. But even the slickest formula can short-circuit when the audience starts predicting your next plot twist.
Thing she found was a rich, famous husband. If that's what constitutes being a founder, then sure, Meghan Markle's a founder. She found a mansion in Montecito to live in. She found a sit-down interview with Oprah to bash and shank her in-laws and accuse them of racism. But founding, putting your name on some cheap jellies, jams, and dog biscuits, I don't know, sounds like a fall from grace.
Meghan Markle has perfected the art of disappearing in 4K. Rebel royal, self-help sage, dance floor visionary, product evangelist. Each persona arrives drenched in camera-ready emotion, yet every new close-up invites a deeper forensic audit. The next time she cues the soft piano and leans toward the mic, viewers won't be leaning in for catharsis, they'll be squinting for proof of moisture. Because when sincerity becomes currency, tears aren't tears, they're receipts. So here's the cliffhanger. If tomorrow's launch needs fresh heartache, will a genuine tear finally roll? Or will the internet just watch another strategic sparkle slide under studio lights? Whatever happens, grab popcorn, because the Duchess of Disaster seldom disappoints. She just reinvents the cringe and calls it catharsis.